So what I've carried over here that you saw me come in with is multiple varieties of tomatoes. I have one shishito pepper in this bunch, well, one pot, but 2 peppers. And then I also have my mini melons and my cucamelons over here. And this is where I need to find places for these things to go. I've had as much success as I can selling them, and now it's time to put these guys in the ground because, to be honest, they're going to produce a harvest and I can't just let them go. So nobody wanted them for free, so I'm going to put them in my garden and I'll get rid of them at the farm stand. And let's see where we're going to put these things. Okay, first approach for these massive amounts of tomato plants. I just dug a ditch through here, and it's going to be able to allow these indeterminate tomatoes, which indeterminate means they don't stop going up. They will continually produce fruit. They don't stop going up unless you stop them or freeze comes. So we're going to use this panel, which has some beans on the other side, but I don't think it's going to be too big of a problem if I train the beans the proper way. Hopefully they don't shade them out. But I've decided to put pineapple pigs on this side over here because those are a yellow tomato. My blue beauties are these ones. This is a blue beauty. This means the blue beauties are really dark and they have a lot of anthocyanin within them, and that is what causes the dark color. And the more sun they get, the darker they stay. The darker they get and the darker they stay. So if you put a shade cloth over a blue beauty, it's not going to get the sunlight that it needs to produce that super dark color. So just keep that in mind. If you're going to use a shade cloth, you're not going to get the dark colors because the sun is going to be blocked by that shade cloth. Now you'll have healthy plants, they're just not going to be the pretty colors, the dark hues that you are expecting to get out of some of these dark tomatoes. So I've got a ditch dug. I need to go deeper, but I'm not worried about it. I've got my soil here, so basically I'm going to put my plants in the ground, put soil on top of them, and then I've got some blood meal over there. I'm going to put that in around the roots and that, so that way it has some nutrients because they've been living in these cups for a while. They probably need a good boost once they get transplanted. So here we go. Let's put them in the ground, kids. This is a green zebra. This is not a pineapple pig. This is a pineapple pig. Oh, jeez. There's a green zebra too. I'm going bonkers, guys. There we go. Pineapple pigs. Make this a little bit deeper because there is a lot of root structure going on. That's good. Now, one thing to remember is if you're using a non-organic fertilizer, like this is blood meal and gypsum. If you're using something like any other commercially designed fertilizer, you don't want to do what I just did. I'm just nonchalant, kind of chaos, throwing it out there. But if you're using a commercially made fertilizer, you want to follow those directions because you will burn your plants and you will kill them in a heartbeat. So let's cover these up. So that's it. Basically, what I'll do now at this point, let me get you up here. What I'll do now at this point is I will bring some of my compost over and just top them off. So that way everything has a fresh layer of my compost on there. Everything's covered up. I can bring the level of the plant, the dirt up on the plant a little bit more, because tomatoes really like to go deep in the ground. Tomatoes actually aren't meant to, let me sit down. They're not meant to go up. They like to, hi kitty, they like to sprawl along the ground. But the problem is when you let them sprawl, all the critters get to them before you get to them. So we grow up, we like to make them go up. And in order to get that strength, that strong stem system, the deeper you go, the stronger that stem's gonna be. But right now, I'm good with this. I'm gonna throw some compost on there, and we're gonna call it a day with these. But I have to keep my cups out here until I get my labels done, because I'll forget. I already have 2 tomatoes that I forgot what I put there a couple weeks ago. So we'll see. All right, this is spot number 2, because it has a trellis already in place, because this is another indeterminate tomato. So we're gonna go with the black cherry. These are little cherry tomatoes that are really dark with the anthocyanin, and they need a lot of sun to get that color also. So this is a full sun area, so we're gonna put these here, and we're gonna break out the big tools and dig a hole right. So I'm going to snip these off because I don't want them touching the ground or in the ground. This one actually was a sucker that I could probably put that in the ground and make another plant, but I have enough. I have enough cherry tomato and regular tomato and yellow tomato. I have enough plants that are tomato. So these are going there. Yes, there are grass weeds. I don't care. They're gonna grow up around it. It's no big deal. Okay, guess what time it is? Time to label. Black cherry, bam. Another one down. We're gonna ride on this one because the other two are in a Sharpie and I don't trust the Sharpie. So over here, I'm going to put my butter and salt. That's a Baker Creek tomato. And then I'm also gonna put some Lover's Lunch, which I got from Wild Boar Farms. These are two pretty basic tomatoes. Butter and salt, a good red, smaller sized, but not a cherry style tomato. But it's got good color, good flavor. It's a good for slicing, good for on any kind of sandwiches, good for salads, whatever you want it for. And then the Lover's Lunch is going to be a pink, a little more of a pink skinned tomato. But on this row here, I've got my Dark Galaxy from Wild Boar Farm. I've got my Cosmic Eclipse, and I've got my Blue Beauties. And those are gonna be my wild and crazy tomatoes, and then I'll have a little bit of normalcy in the center of this one. That's what I'm planning, at least. We'll see. Okay, we got the lover's lunch. There's 2 here. And then over here, y'all are gonna scream at me. Here's my butter and salt. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 plants in this little space. And you know what? I will cross that bridge when I get to it if they start getting too out of control with each other. I plan to prune these pretty heavily this year. I have not done that in past years, but I want to try it and see how it does. Plus, I think it'll help with them being so close together. These ones kind of need to have that. So there we go. So I've decided that I'm going to stop recording all this tomato nonsense. And, oh, look at this guy. He's got my foot. He's touching my foot. Hey, buddy. So I'm going to stop. Hold on. Get my foot out from under him. And he's mad now because I moved my foot. I'm going to show you some progress that we have going on here in this garden. And some of the pretties that are happening. So, you saw our tomatoes. But, so far, we've got broccoli is growing. It's delicious. Over here are my really yellow tomatoes and beans, but that's okay. I've just started fertilizing them. I've thrown some kelp meal and some blood meal in with them already, and now I've just retopped them. You're gonna see all these little tags in here. They say Bell Mix. That's a lie. And you wanna know how that's a lie? I think these were seeds left over from Peppergate. Every one of these suckers is hot as a mofo. And I'm sorry to Art Meyer, my wannabe father-in-law. He's the one that taste tested for me. And then I taste tested one a couple days later and still hot. So those go to chickens, and they're also meant for salsas. There is a sweet banana down there that I'm gonna try and hope that it's an actual sweet banana, but we're not gonna bet on that. So anyway, these are some long, I think they're like long pole beans or something like that. They're supposed to like grow up this trellis. They're getting there. They're getting some color back now that we had all of that rain. I showed you our rutabagas. Back over here, I'm gonna put some tomatoes in there on this trellis again, but I'm gonna have to get these rutabagas out, and there's a couple carrots and some radishes. This right here is my 1,500-year-old pole bean, I think it is, that I was given, I should say gifted, here, 1,500-year-old beans. So apparently these seeds were found in a cave, and they are expected to be 1,500 years old. So I'm really excited, but you can see it's either ants or roly-poly. Something has eaten my leaves, but it's still thriving. That's the only one that's left. It ate the other ones. I did not put all the beans in there as, I did not start all the beans and put them in because it was all I had. Salty Dog is who sent me those beans, and the U.S. Postal Service apparently opened them up, and a ton of beans. There's beans from, I think he's in Georgia. So we have a bean trail from St. Louis area to Georgia, and I don't know what happened, if they opened them on purpose or if they opened them on accident. Probably on purpose. They lost all my beans. I literally had, I think, 5 left in my package. So I've saved some of those so I can restart some, but I'm gonna see if this plant keeps on kicking, because right now it's got some new growth on it. It's doing all right. I'm hoping that pest pressure is done and it can start doing its thing. So I mean, it's growing all right. It's definitely growing. So anyway, that's that. All right, that's my beautiful volunteer mullein. This is year 2. This baby's gonna flower on me this year. I'm so excited. Don't know where it came from. We had a couple up front. I'm guessing it came from there, but that's really cool. I need to harvest some of these leaves, dry them out, and use them for different things. So there's our broccoli. Let's see, these are some sunflowers. 1, 2, 3. Those are doing great. This is mint. It is actually, I think it's orange mint. Yes, it smells amazing. It's taken over everything, but that's okay. I'm gonna have to put something bushy in here. I haven't figured out what's going in here. This will be some sort of a squash. I'll try it again this year. Last year it did not do well, but I'm gonna amend that soil once I get my squash plants rolling. These are those carrots I showed you. These are snap peas growing here. I've got some snap peas growing here. They're doing good. Oh, and ground cherries. And these are my beautiful roses. One of these days I'm gonna have a video showing you my like arbor cage that I'm gonna make so my roses can climb it instead of go haywire and poke me with thorns. This is going to be my mini melons. They are over there. I just need to clean this up and put them in the ground, in the pallet, whatever. Look at my cabbage. Cabbages are doing phenomenal. Cabbages, I cannot wait. And then these are cucumbers in the backside, and they are going to climb that trellis. And this is going to be out of here with the water line. I'm going to get that out this year because it was in the way last year. And here's our potato tower. Look at these guys. Look at these guys. The potatoes are growing. We got some potatoes. I'll link that video from last year. I did this one a little bit different, but it's primarily the same thing. And then this is apple mint, another one that's out of control, but I'm just letting it go because not only does it smell amazing, it's easy to transplant for the chickens, and if anybody ever wants some, they can have it. This was some of the orange mint that I transplanted just so I can get rid of it. These are some beautiful sunflowers. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you are, doesn't matter because you're beautiful. Oh, this is happiness here. Sweet peas. There's my sweet pea. My very first sweet pea is coming out of its shell and making its life of beauty known to everyone. And then I have other ones. I'm just waiting for them to come out. But I thought this would be doing better. Jeez Louise. This is an onion. Look at this thing. I didn't pull that out. I should have. Anyway, beautiful. These smell phenomenal. There's more roses waiting to make their debut. More sunflowers. Look at this pretty girl. Beautiful. And there's another one there's waiting. More roses. Beautiful roses. There's another set of sunflowers. And that's it for the most part. It's turned out really well. We're coming along. It took a minute. It took a hot minute to get here, but this weather this year, man, it was bad news for us with rain and all the storms and that. I'm walking over to compost piles. I just want to show you how amazing. We're gonna have pumpkins again this year. I'm leaving them here. They're gonna grow up and out of the compost pile, and they're going to set flowers, and they're going to grow until it's time to harvest them. And it looks like we've also got peas in here. Got peas, we got some tomatoes. I don't know what this is. It's unbelievable. When you don't want things to grow a certain place, doesn't matter. They're gonna grow if they wanna grow. If they have the right conditions, and sometimes not the right conditions, they grow. So, hey guys. So this is day 2 of this video. I told you I would show you where I put those specific tomato plants. I was planning to get more in the ground today, but it didn't happen. We had hockey this afternoon, and then me and my lovely Nick decided to go off to the river and enjoy some us time. So I just wanted to bring you back out and show you what I did with those and let you know where they're at and where to expect them this year for our garden events. So let me flip you around. This is the green zebras that I put in. I have 4 plants all along there. They're going to use this cattle panel as a trellis. I think they'll do really well. I brought some of the oh, these are my cosmic eclipses. So there's one here and one here. Last year, my tomatoes didn't do great over here, but I also didn't upkeep the weeds, so I'm hoping that that helps out. And these are these have those anthocyanins in them, so these are going to be a dark-bodied, a dark-skinned tomato. But you know what? We'll see what happens over here. I just wanted to get them in the ground and get them out of cups. So that's that. This is my beautiful dill, and it's doing fantastic. And we put our Cherokee purples over here, so we've got those. Come over here. I did not touch this bed. My plan was to get the melons in this bed. I didn't. Maybe this week I'll get my mini melons in there. Over here, so I put my honeycomb hybrids. These are another cherry style tomato. I put them both here so they can use this trellis as a support, and it's easy to find, easy to get to. That's that. I cleared these weeds out, but if you saw this before, holy cow, what a difference. I pulled so many weeds yesterday. I worked my tail off in here. And let's see, I put over on this side. Oh, how cool is this? My friend, which is more like a family member, Alicia, was selling this gutter planter, and I think it's so cool, and I cannot wait to use it next year. I don't know. I might put something in there this year, but it's getting kind of late. I might just amend some soil for it so it's ready for next year, but I think that's really cool. And then, oh, these were a volunteer. These were, ooh, they need to get watered. They need some watering. These puppies, I don't know what they are. They were in the tomato / pepper bed, and they were thriving over there. So I'm really hoping after I water today, they'll be good to go, because they probably got dried out and they've got a little bit of transplant shock. But they are something that is growing, and I don't know what, and that's where they are now because I needed the space over here. So back here I put a butter and salt. Up here we've got a green zebra and a blue beauty, which the blue beauty was already here. The green zebra's new. The cosmic eclipses, those are established already. In the middle you saw me put the butter and salts through here, and then the lover's lunch through here. And the reason I did that is because we've got dark galaxies and we've got cosmic eclipse. We're gonna have crazy on the edges, normal in the middle. That's what we're gonna try and do here. And I think, oh, rutabagas gotta come out this week, hopefully. Here's my Berry's Crazy Cherry. I put one of those right in here. Do we still have radishes? Yes, we still have radishes, but I'm gonna let those grow, and Berry's Crazy Cherry is gonna grow too. Those will come out soon. This will keep on growing. Oh, and I put my cucamelons here. So we've got the cucamelons right here. We've got our 15-year-old beans from Salty Dog Homestead. Shout out to him for sending those to me, even though the postal service sucks and took or lost most of my beans. I've still got some, so we're good to go. We'll keep progress on that. And then I've got some carrots. These are random carrots back here. So I think that's it. I showed you my pineapple pig. And then we got our other blue beauty. I'm gonna water everything tonight. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, I'm very sporadic. I haven't been doing this nearly as normal as I should, but yeah, let's do this together. So you all have a good day, good night, whatever it is, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.